Hello Twin Flames, it's Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. I'm coming to you from Kealakekua Bay in the big island of Hawaii. This is another one of my out of the nature readings. Similar place to yesterday, but not exactly the same. The ocean and the sky changes every day, obviously. And this is a pretty powerful, pretty magical space for doing this reading. So I was actually chased away once again by the soul working in our area, dealing with some of the tropical greenery, but I'm actually grateful for that. It's one of those blessings in disguise. And today we're going to do a classic read, so I will start with my oracle deck, The Whispers of the Ocean, and then I'll go into tarot, and then I've got my angel therapy deck. Yeah, so we'll get guidance for the twins. Somehow I was guided to get these decks with me, so that's what's happening today. I haven't been closely watching the astrology calendar lately. I keep reminding you guys about all the planets going direct, and it's gonna stay like that for a while. So to me personally, that's probably the biggest driver right now, especially as I'm finally doing my workshop tomorrow. It's a big deal for me. I hope you guys can join. You can email me or message me if you don't know where to look. But if you go to my website, mindfulbamboo.com, it's gonna be in the top nav, just a separate entry that says workshop, astrology and your destiny. And yes, it is gonna be about understanding yourself better, knowing yourself, and not just knowing, but then, well, actually that's the biggest outcome of the workshop, right? We aren't gonna conquer the world in one day, but that's a great start, because the more you understand yourself, what kind of energies are guiding you in your own life, you know, things big and small, and also in how you build relationships with other people, it answers a lot of questions of why you connect to this kind of people and not to that kind of people, why you may be struggling with certain things, why you're going through the same patterns with different people, right? It makes things so much clearer. And then of course you can do a follow-up, you can Google some stuff, whatever particular area you're mostly interested in. You can contact me for a session, whatever you like. And actually I will start offering astrology updates and, you know, overviews for people, answering different questions, similar to how I do coaching, but this is going to be specifically around the birth chart. And also we'll take a look at what the synastry chart is, what composite chart is. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it tomorrow, but since we are talking, you know, us twin flames, this is the part where well, the synastry chart is when your birth chart and the other person, whoever you're, you know, interested in finding out more in terms of relationship, they are put together kind of on top of each other. And you can see how different planet placements interact, yours and theirs. That's actually very interesting, and it defines for the most part what kind of relationship it can be, even if it's not a relationship yet, it's just met the person. It already gives you a lot of insight if you know their time and date of birth, which I know is not the first date question, but if you do, that's gonna be, yeah, that's all you need really to find out so much about them. And then the composite chart is like it's like a third entity. It's, you know, it's that synergy. It's like it's kind of like that union space, right, that we talked about. What are you gonna become? What is your chart gonna be if we combine the two of you, right? And to me, the most fascinating part of this chart, and things that I usually look at, because I'm not really too deep into composite charts and, you know, different aspects of them, but the one that I look at is the North Node, and I did my webinar on it, and the video is on my channel, the Mindful Bamboo. Go ahead and watch it, it's great. You can fast forward past those areas that are not of interest to you, because then I go deeper into specific placements and I go over all of them, at least by house, so it's taken a minute. But you can obviously choose the part where your placement is explained, so you don't have to listen to the whole hour. but it's a fascinating subject. If you don't know what it is, check it out. And yes, in composite chart, if you're looking at your North Node, guess what it is for twin flames? This is your common mission. This is really what that glue is behind you. And I know it sounds like, well, but that's only when we get into union, right? Kinda, but talking from my own experience and a few other twin flame couples that I know, it's not really like that. And naturally, like I said, it's that glue that, in my opinion, accelerates things. If you understand where to dig, which direction to move, how to connect to your person, right? What kind of activities are really gonna wake up that inner drive for being a light worker, doing the mission, right? Because that's one of the things that we do for each other. We support each other energetically. And the more we understand and we know, the more we do that, really. Okay, enough talking. Let's switch to the tarot. And we'll get the first card for Divine Feminines, as always. Love this place so much. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know in the comments if this is too loud or I'm not loud enough. I could have brought my speaker, but I just felt like it wasn't, too much of technology in nature. Okay, so for Divine Feminines, we have Persistent Drive, number 11. I bought tickets to Honolulu today, and we are going to be sitting in row 11. Me and a friend of mine. See what you desire and move toward that goal. It is time to zero in on your purpose. I was just talking about North Node and common mission. You can't make this up. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome, as always. I mean, I know it sounds like a broken record, but it is that. And look at these sharks, right? They do have this persistent drive, just like the ocean behind me. Look at all that power. And if you're actually swimming around the big waves, you can feel the temperature right away. Like the water is really warm. And actually the ocean is not that warm right now because it's winter and it's been stormy the last few days. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Yeah, so basically this card says it's time to find that persistent drive that will be guiding you and will be helping you move no matter what. No matter what your brain is telling you, other people are telling you. Okay, let's see what we have for DMs. I'm in a talkative mood today. I think I know why, but interesting. Number 17, safe and surrounded by love. Oh, how beautiful. Yay, divine masculines are surrounded. And I'm getting that in this case, the dolphins are like the symbol for the guides and the protectors, right? So these are the entities that each of us has that are protecting us throughout our life. And we usually have at least one guide that is dedicated to us. Like, in other words, we're kind of like they are dedicated for us, like a dedicated guide. And we are their dedicated client, if you wish, Keep your heart open and know you're being protected. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. Allow yourself to see and understand what's going on around you. And that's actually, it may sound simple, but for DMs a lot of times it's kind of an issue because they are more 3D centered in general. And it's harder for them to get out of that shell of that box, It's like, one of the manifestation mantras is, first, you need to believe it in order to see it. But for a lot of us, unfortunately, still, and for the masculines especially, it's seeing and then believing. And, that's the trick to it, that you're supposed to trust and surrender. Okay, let's get into tarot. And I brought my Souls on Fire deck, the pretty pink one. So let's see what's happening. This is going to be, because it's a classic read, I'm going to do energy of the FDM and the connection at this time. So let's see what's going on with Divine Feminines. Tell us more about that persistent drive and finding mission, zeroing in on life purpose. Yeah, it's the one drawback from this location is that it's not very tarot friendly in terms of the, you know, like having a table would be nice. Then again, I don't really have a table in my room right now. I will be in the hotel, so I will be staying with my friend for the first couple of nights. So I'll probably do, not probably, I will do some readings from there, but it's gonna be for the beginning of next week most likely, especially considering the time difference. It's crazy how much of a difference it is. And I'm 5 hours away from New York, and it sounds like not that much, especially because I'm always comparing that I'm like 5, 6, 7 hours away from people I know in Europe, but it's not the same really, especially if it's further west, because, well, for many reasons really, and it's really strange to, I have to start my day really, really early, and basically I only have the first half of the day to solve any kind of questions I have for anyone on the East Coast. And I mean, technically, you know, I've been there for years, and that's where everywhere that I'm registered, the people that know me, that's where the operations are really still. Okay, so for the feminines, I'll be interpreting right away because it's hard to, like, I don't have a place to lay out the cards, so I'll just be going with the flow. The Wheel of Fortune, speaking of the flow, and the Eight of Cups. Ooh, okay, so what I'm getting immediately is that the universe is kind of giving you a hint that in order to really zero in on your mission and move forward with it, you need to free up some space from your current routines, obligations, responsibilities, whatever is taking your energy, your time, your finances. It could be different for each of you. But it's important to see what you can improve in terms of freeing up some space and some resources for your real mission, for your real passion into it. And don't think about it that if it's not a light worker thing directly, that it's not part of that. No. If you've decided to take up painting and you feel in your heart that you need to spend more time on it, you want to, right? Or maybe you want to take lessons, or maybe you want to travel somewhere because you feel like it's going to be an amazing opportunity to paint over there. Do it. That's what it is, really. Arts do drive us in a big way and help ascension, help healing, whatever, especially if you're really being guided by your heart chakra, by your intuition into what kind of arts to become, right? I know that if I'm doing dancing, that's euphoric feeling for me, even if I'm by myself, even if I'm not dancing with my DM. But if it's gonna be, I don't know, watercolor painting, it's not my thing at all. And yeah, it's creative and it's probably gonna be fun for a minute, but I'm gonna get tired quickly, and it's not really that much fun for me, just generally speaking. So yeah, you know, it matters. Details matter, and that's what we see here too. Devil's in the details. And maybe one of those responsibilities, or more than one, you understand that actually helping people, or, you know, if you like, if you're taking care of someone in your life, right? You're like, oh, but this is such a great thing that I'm doing. I'm supporting this and that person. But, you know, it's not as simple. And, you know, this reading is going to get very long if I'm going to dive in deeper into that. But a lot of times it's more about people pleasing or just meeting someone's expectations. But if it's truly deeply in your heart, it's not going to make you happy. And trust me, if it's eating up a lot of your nerves and time or money, it may not be making you happy just for that reason. And that's okay, that's fine. But that's the signal to you that you're not supposed to be doing that. Or there are other ways that are not going to be draining your resources. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm also working on all these patterns, and I'm taking this message for myself. But that's what I'm getting as a channel message right now. Yeah, let's see what we have for Divine Masculines. What's going on? Eight of Wands. Whoops. Sorry guys, they keep falling. All right. Two of Wands and Page of Cups. Yeah, we actually saw 10 of Wands yesterday, I think. Or was it Swords? No, it was Swords. Today I'm getting 2 and 8 are kind of 10. But guess what? Divine masculine is look at this picture, like looking carefully at all this once and trying to see the bigger meaning behind it, or why they've been put into this situation, whether they have to choose, whether the communication is not very clear. And yeah, Page of Cups. Page of Cups, to me, there is this excitement of like, oh, this world is so beautiful, there's so much wonder, and with the bird, I'm immediately drawn to animal world. Maybe your DM has a pet and they are finding some new joy interacting with them, or maybe just in general they're somewhere in nature and they find it fascinating suddenly. You know, it could be anything, but this is like that natural source of joy and happiness and just being excited about living this life, right? So there is like these two, actually, let's put them this way. There are like these two energies that are kind of opposite, but as it often happens, the opposition actually creates. It helps find the balance. It helps find the golden mean and the truth, really. Because the truth is in the middle, right? Negative and positive are our perceptions, but it's important to experience both in order to understand where the truth lies. So both of these experiences are equally important. Okay, what about the connection at this time? Let's see. Ooh. Oh boy. We have Wands in reverse. Can you please clarify? What's going on between the twins right now? I'm looking at the face and I'm immediately getting an image of a confused divine masculine. Oh my god, yeah, whether you are not in communication or you're in communication, but something keeps changing in your life, or either your life or theirs or both, they understand that you are getting into a new format of relationship, and that gets them confused and a little scared. Let's see what else we have. 9 of Wands. I was just talking about the fear, right? And Devil in reverse. Okay, so let's unpack that for a minute. There's a lot to unpack here, but the important part is that there's like the good and the bad. That they are realizing that they actually had it better than they thought before. So this is that part where you start appreciating something after you lose it, or you don't have that experience, you don't have access to that experience anymore. You start missing it, right? This is kind of both ways, but there's still a difference. I'm getting that for DFs, it's more like DM was a source, the Wands is a passionate, shamanic, masculine vibe, right? So that fire, like it sounds like a banality, but literally it's like that fire energy, like where twin flames, it's like one flame and another flame that interact, right? And there's less of that fire, of that flame in their life, because DM is either not in communication, or there is some sort of emotional unavailability. And there is fear for both. The part where there's a little bit of a regret about missing the good old days, that's actually kind of sweet, and I'm sensing there's a sweet energy, that nostalgic energy. There is a bit of a fear that it's like we don't know what to expect next. The only thing I would say is that the twins do not want to follow the manipulative path anymore. They don't want to be in a box, and that's actually one of the biggest goals that we have here as twins anyway, right? So the brain is making us scared because it's telling us that if we're not together, or we don't hang out, or communication's different, I don't know, somebody moved, or someone is really busy these days, or maybe somebody had to take care of someone or something in their personal life, and that's why we're not in communication. Like, Because of that, something bad is gonna happen. Or like we're moving apart, drifting apart or something, right? But then the twins go one step deeper and they understand that because it's so special and they can feel it if they really listen, to their heart space, that the energy is still there, really. Yes, it's not as strong, but there is this bigger faith, bigger belief that we're not gonna be, we're better than that. We're not gonna be giving each other a hard time, and it's not gonna be that we're gonna be projecting our pain and fears on each other. Whatever it is, we're growing, these are growth pains, and whenever we meet again, it's gonna be better. And we are gonna be better for each other. We aren't gonna be going through patterns that we've been brought up with or that we experienced in our other relationships before, right? This is not a karmic relationship. This is not a 3D relationship. And it can be, right? If you're friends, I don't know, business partners, right? It can be, right? But in its essence, in its energy, it's much bigger than that. It's important to remind yourself, even if you don't have people who keep nudging you about it or like saying, well, you're saying he's so special, but where is he now when you need him or something, right? Like a lot of times we have those people, and that's why a lot of twins actually don't really talk a lot about their person with others. We need to be careful here. But sometimes even our own brain is doing that trick, is talking to us with that negative self-talk. But yeah, I feel like this is almost like a solitude practice, one of those that they do at retreats or when monks are getting into that certain level of education, of apprenticeship, where those people are not supposed to talk for a long time, and it's actually bringing certain level of wisdom and ascension to them. And as I'm saying this, we're experiencing the beginning of a beautiful sunset. I'm actually gonna try and turn the camera a little so you guys can see. Hey! You can see me worse, but who cares, right? When you have a sunset like that. Here we actually have, my iPhone is actually gonna try and adjust the lighting. We have ritual in our place with my friends where we go to see the sunset every single day. And yes, sometimes it's cloudy and you can't really see much. You see just the sun rays outside of the clouds, like not directly the sun, but something else in the sky, but it's beautiful every single time. And I think this is actually a very beautiful end to our reading. I'm gonna get a card for each of the twins with the angel therapy guidance. We'll get the first one for the end. I'm gonna have my rendezvous with the sun. Okay, so for feminines. I think I'm afraid to drop them now, so I'm just gonna pull one from the middle. Solar plexus chakra. It is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. And look at that sunny energy. Actually, sun and solar plexus, it's called solar plexus for a reason, actually connected. So if you have a chance to be in the sun, to enjoy the sun today, tomorrow, that's highly recommended. That's gonna increase your clarity in the solar plexus. And it's the important, and actually it's so much in sync with that persistent drive that we're talking about. The solar plexus chakra is the one that is responsible for our confidence, for our feeling of power, for how we express ourselves in the world. Okay, let's see what we have for masculines. Ooh, that was flying. Emotional sensitivity. And that's why they need to be surrounded with love, and remember about that. honor and respect your deep sensitivity, as it is a gift to all of us. Yes, that's actually another big message. I heard it at the beginning, but I forgot to mention. You know that for masculines, there's still a lot of stereotype about showing their sensitivity, empathy, those kind of features. But it's actually very important, if we have DMs listening, it's very important that you do express it, because that's how you're gonna get connected to your intuition and to your heart space. That's how you're gonna be essentially making better decisions in life, in those things that you feel like are within the scope of that masculine figure in society, right? So it's all so much connected. Or you can look at it from the yin-yang balance way, right? We all have both energies, and it's so important to have both of them in a balanced state, and both of them express the masculine and the feminine, right? So honor and respect your deep sensitivity. It is a gift, truly. And on that note, I'm gonna leave you guys. I was so glad to do this reading for you. I'm sure you enjoyed it as well. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.